Hi there, welcome to the YouTube channel. I'm back again. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's gameplay video. I'm trying these out because I know the stream replays get watched, but they don't get as watched so much as I'd like. So I thought, oh well, we'll try and clip one out and see how that goes. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday's one because Bonnie Powell was by far and away the most viewed deck video I've done for a while. But today's one is all about Felix Five-Boots. 2 black, green and blue for a 5/4 legendary creature, Ooze Rogue. Never thought I'd say that combination of words. Anyway, has Menace and Wall 2. And if a creature you controlling dealing combat damage to a player causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers another time. Or an additional time, I should say. Yeah. Been thinking about this one for a little while. And it's kind of sort of struck me over the last day or so how to do it. So, here we go. This is what today's deck looks like. Just for price wise, because I do play this a lot, because I play most of my games now on Magic Online, 51 tickets, we call it that, about 400 quid, dollars, sorry, £328 online. Yeah, I have to do the English pounds occasionally. So anyway, here we go. Felix obviously here at the start, and then a little bit around with Birds of Paradise. We're going through the creatures. You're going to see a theme with all the creatures shortly. Birds of Paradise is on theme. Aria's Oathsworn, however, it's got Menace, and dealing combat damage for a player, we get to put +1/+1 counters on it. And then if it has exactly 4 +1/+1 counters on it, search your library for a card and put it into your hand. Yeah, okay, so it gives you a kind of a backdoor vampiric tutor, demonic tutor, however you want to call it. Anyway, from there, Grim Flayer, look at the top 3 cards, put any of them into your graveyard, the rest on top of your library in any order. Initiate's Companion, an old one from Anchor, whatever it is. I can't remember the name of the set now. Anchor, or whatever it was. Can't even pronounce it today. 3/1, deals combat damage for a player. Untap target land or creature you control. Skullbraid, the Walking Grave. You get to put +1/+1 counters on it. And counters remain on it as long as it removes any zone apart from other than your hand or your library. Thrumming Bird is here because of the proliferate, and we'll come to why. It's going to be slightly important in this deck going forward. Contagious Varrock, you either get to find a land or you get to proliferate, depending what you want to do. Demir Cutpurse lets you draw cards because your opponent he deals damage to. If you've got Felix in play, they'll discard 2, you'll draw 2, so pretty good value. Drana, Liberator of Malachi, double triggering, putting all those extra +1/+1 counters everywhere. Edric, Spymaster of Tress, lets you draw even more cards. Garrick's Harbinger comes into play and deals combat damage for a player or planeswalker. Look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may reveal a creature or Garrick card from among them. Put the rest on your library, bottom of your library in a random order. Can you probably see what's coming now? If you know this is here, you know Thrumming Bird's here, you can probably work out some planeswalkers coming shortly. Oran Viper lets you go and draw cards, and it's got sort of kind of death touch type thing for any creature. Spawn Wraith, you hit with this, you basically get to make more copies of Spawn Wraith, which I thought was quite useful. Thief for Sanity does the whole top 3 cards from a player's library. Exile one of them, you can cast it as long as it remains exiled and spend mana of any colour. Going from there, Liliana's Reaver, when it deals combat damage to a player, they discard a card, you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield tapped. Not great having it come in tap, but we'll cope with it if we're having a death touch 4/3 for 4 mana. Nine Fingers Keen is also here. If you get the damage through with this one, it's really quite useful because we do have a lot of gate cards in here to make Nine Fingers work. So, yeah, and it's quite good with old Felix. Double looking at the top 18 cards in your library. Yeah, pretty good. Toski, Bearer of Secrets, will just draw cards. Urban Daggertooth lets us proliferate when it's dealt damage. There's a reason it's here. I think people will block this more readily, and so having the damage come through could be useful. Archpriest of Shadows, when it deals damage to a player or battle, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and don't forget you got the backup, so double triggers. Well, this is good. Throghemoth, exiling the cards, gaining some life, making the frog bigger. Sharik, Eric Shirik, I can't ever say his name. Eric the Observer. Let's go with the Observer. Let's go with this. Deal damage, combat damage player, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. I think it triggers twice. Haven't checked it, but it should do. Oran Frostfang Viper gives all our attacking creatures death touch, and creatures then deal cards when they deal combat damage to a player. OJ Kaslim, I've said it before, I'll say it again, green decks you see from me now will have this card in it most of the time, and this deck is no exception. Getting a double trigger could be the very near to the end of the game for you, winning wise, that is, next turn. Sinian of Calamity, do the Myriad thing. If you get the Myriad off, you may be blowing up kind of, I don't know, what, 6 enchantments and artifacts. Could be very useful in Commander. Sphinx of Clear Skies. Yes, we haven't got that many basic land types. Obviously, we've got swamps, forests, and islands. But, you know, doing it twice could really help get some cards in your hand. Bane of Progress enters the battlefield. Will just blow everything up. It's just a board reset. No other need for it. Doesn't do anything when it does combat damage. Undercover Crocdelf, I just liked because it just does the investigate thing. It gives you, a way of getting a cheap creature in for 3 mana, which you can flip up when you can. Rexel, the Risen Deep, lets you cast instants and sorceries from a player's graveyard without paying their mana costs and exile those cards. Lord of the Void also deals damage to a combat player. You exile their top 7 cards and put a creature card from among the ones you control, so maybe nicking 2 creatures off an opponent. Yep. Old Gnawbone gives you all those lovely, lovely treasure tokens to cast everything is. An Ancient Silver Dragon just means you basically draw loads of cards and have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. So, nice way of doing that. Last card, the one you probably don't see that often, Sinian of Darkness. Deals combat damage to a player. You may put a target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So, there you go. That is our, 32 creatures in the deck. Planeswalkers, I did say we're going to be appearing. So Oko, the Thief of Crowns, is here. Not sure on the artwork from this one, but hey, the original artwork's really cool. Garruk Wildspeaker, do the whole land untapping thing. Nissa, Shadow of Barrows, comes in. You get to go and get things out of graveyards. As long as you've got enough lands in play, which we will have, hopefully. Garruk, Caller of Beasts, gets as a creature, along with Garruk, the Savage Herald, also does the same thing. If there's a card at the top of your library. Teferi's here just to untap things, and then maybe look at the top 2 if we need to. And then Nissa, Ascendant Animist, is here as a win condition. We should have a lot of forests in play with this deck between all the lands we have. And yeah, -7 if we can get it off, especially if we can cast it for full value instead of paying 4 life and 5. If we cast it for 7 mana, we're going to be very happy because we should win the game we cast that. To make sure we get there, we've got Cyclonic Rift, then Nature's Law, Rampant Growth, 3 visits Condoma's Reach, gets us all the lands out of our deck that we may need. Damnation helps us control the board again, alongside one of the cards that got played against me on a stream last week, Overwhelming Forces, which I just didn't even realise it was on MTGO. Blows up someone's entire board and you get a card for each creature that gets destroyed this way. Yes, it only targets 1 player, but if you take out the biggest threat on the board, you're going to be making friends very quickly. We've got a fair bit of ramp on the go. So Mox Tantalite, Soul Talismans here. Elixir to make sure we can shuffle everything back in if we need to. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, we need the colour. The boots are here just to give Felix a way to go hasty, or one of our other creatures to go hasty if we need it to. Then one of each of the respective pairs of talismans. Thought Vessels, make sure we've got another way of having no maximum hand size. Ancient Cornucopia, yeah. Coming in, yes, it's 3 mana for a thing that just taps for 1 mana of any colour, but getting a bit of life every so often is going to be very useful. So, that's going to be good. Chimley, the Inner Sun, I figured I might as well have this in as well. We've got a lot of things that do the 5 mana or less, so this is just a cheap way of getting them in, and it stops everything being countered. And I had a bit of fun. It was a toss-up between the Skullport Nexus and the Great Henge, and I went with the Skullport Nexus just for a change. 3 enchantments, Garruk's Uprising, draw a few cards when we get there. Growing Rights Immunotech, just so we can go and find some more creatures we need to, and then get the virtual Gaia's Cradle, and Hadana's Climb. Hopefully we'll get this flipped and start going in the air where we need to. The land, as I said, is a bit all over the place. We have got Baldur's Gate and all the other gates you'd expect to see, Basilisk Bed, Baldur's, Black Dragon, so on and so forth. The usual selection of green and blue lands like Breeding Pool and the other guild gates, Dreamroot Cascade, Catacomb. I've got Exotic Orchard because I'm playing a 3-colour deck, so the chance I can have someone playing at least one of your colours, so that helps. Fable Passage, Field of the Dead. Had to have Field of the Dead in here, get some blockers. And then 2 of each basic, 2 forests, 2 islands. There should be 2 swamps somewhere. And the rest of it is what you would expect to see in such a deck. I will just point out we have got Opulent Palace in here. We have got the other version as well in the Triome, Zagoth Triome as well. Yeah. They all work very nicely, thank you very much, and a few sack lands. And that's it. This is my very quick, very dirty take on Felix Five-Boots. I'm looking forward to playing on stream. Be playing on stream on Thursday night, so this should be out on Tuesday UK time. So, you know, a couple of days. You've got a link down below to my Twitch. I've got 403 subscribers now, so thank you for everyone who's joined. Had a couple of people leave, a few more people joined. It's a bit weird, but, you know, I appreciate it. If you can, though, and you aren't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button down below and help me get to 500 by the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it. Or, you know, come and see me on Twitch. We've got 232 people over there. Usually end up with about 6 or 7 people at a time, but, you know, it's there. If you want to come watch some Commander games and you like Commander, come and see me on Twitch. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with another deck tech. Take care. Bye.